Hi, my name's Yessi, and not many of you know, but I have two nephews and one niece. My niece and nephew are actually twins, and they are 9 years old, about to be 10 in August. And my nephew was born the September 2020, and he's about to be one. So when my niece and nephew were born, the doctors tried to latch them onto my sister's breast, and they wouldn't latch on. As much as they tried, they just wouldn't. And I just think they were just so premature and not. I think it was two babies and it was too much for her as well. But when my other nephew was born, he latched onto the boob uh, like so fast that she's like, well, like it's not even like compared to my niece and nephew who are twins. She's like, this has never happened before, and till now he's still being breastfed, and he does not like taking a bottle. We've tried formula. He doesn't take any of it. He just breastfeeds. So my sister actually lost her job due to the fact that he's still being breastfed, but she's like okay with it because it's giving him more nutrients and it's benefiting him more than it would if he was taking formula. So this is why I want to talk to you about the benefits of breastfeeding. So the first thing I want to mention is that when you become a mother, like the first thing you comes to mind is trying to benefit your kid and trying to get the best interest for them. And like that's like everything where it goes to food, school, clothing, toys, like it involves everything. You as a mother are wanting the best for your child. And it's like for like a mother, you are concerned, especially for your first kids, you're very concerned whether you're doing things right or wrong. And with her, that's how it was. So she always thought since she was giving the first twins formula, it was going to be bad for them. But it has benefits and it has disadvantages as well. So when a baby is first born, it's really good for them to breastfeed because the mother has colostrum. And I don't know if you guys know what colostrum is, but it's like a yellow sticky substance that lasts like 2 to 4 days and is like a rich, I'm going to butcher this, it's hemoglobins. And like it has like antibodies and antimicrobial peptides, growth factors, and growth hormone, which not only provides immunity but also foster the growth and development of the newborn. So when a mother is breastfeeding, the baby receives so many nutrients from that alone. And since that is only from the 2 to 4 days, it's so like they want to get on that right away, which is why when you first have a kid, they try to latch them on really quick. And another thing is that when a mother or like their baby is sick, they say to like breastfeed because the mother has like what is it antibodies in her breast, so when she's breastfeeding him or her, it's like protecting them from like infections and diseases. And also the next thing I also want to talk about is cost. So I guess like if you are using formula and you can't like produce milk, the ranges from that can be from $200 to $2,800, which I don't know if that's a lot for you guys, but that's a lot for me. And a lot of people do not grow up in like wealthy homes, and unfortunately that's the only way to not have to pay for formula is being breastfed. So a study found that if 90% of families in the United States breastfed babies exclusively for 6 months, savings could be about $13 billion. And if 80% of families met the 6 month exclusive breastfeeding goal, it would save about $10.5 billion. Although it's not a lot of money for some people, it might be money for other people like low income families. So breastfeeding is probably the only and best option for them. Another thing I want to mention is many times after the baby is born, women have the risk of developing postpartum depression. Postpartum depression typically occurs within the 1 month following childbirth, with symptoms that include extreme sadness, guilt, lowest self-esteem, and hopelessness. This is why the mothers are getting checked constantly after they have a kid because of how bad and serious it can get. When a mother is able to feed their child, it helps with the postpartum depression. And this is like where like the bonding between him and her or her and him are having the connection and bonding between when he's breastfeeding or she's breastfeeding. And I know you can do that with like the bottle fed too, but it's different when she's actually breastfeeding you. And a mother is more aware of like when a child is becoming sick or when something's wrong with the child because of that bonding that they've had already. And although breastfeeding has its benefits, formula is always an option and sometimes can be the only option. So for some people, the mother might die during birth, and that's the only option is giving formula, or when they're getting adopted, or say they can't even produce milk. I know there's one option where you can have someone who is available, and I know people donate breastfeeding like milk for people who can't produce it or who aren't able to have the access to that. And although it's not as good as breast milk, formula can sometimes be the best option for you. Um, Both breastfeeding and formula are beneficial and work, but breastfeeding is more natural and has certain things formula cannot replicate, like colostrum and antibodies to help fight off infections and diseases. So, like my mom, one of my close friends, his mom wasn't able to produce milk, and my mom was offering, like, she literally breastfed him while he grew up until he was able to do something, eat something else besides breast milk, just because of how much benefits you can get from breast milk. Thank you.